Hello everybody, welcome to this week's session. Today I want to actually talk to you about how to actually pay your bond way much faster than the initial agreed home loan term, right? So last week I was actually talking about choosing the right kind of home loan term, right? So we spoke about 20 years, 25 years, and 30 years in terms of what are the differences and which home loan term is ideal for which circumstances in terms of if you are looking at short term or long term, or it really depends on what your long term plans or what your goals are or your financial plans are. Okay, so there's not really like let's say one size fits all. It depends on your circumstances to say what does your circumstances really is ideal or it complies with your circumstances, right? So let's say if you're looking for a breather, like you're looking to have to pay less at this point in terms of the home loan, obviously you must go for the 30-year home loan. But if maybe let's say you are looking in a long term to pay a, a low amount, in that case you must go for a 20-year home loan. So it's such things like if you want to build more equity much faster, then it means you must go for a 20 years. If you want to build home loan much slower, or if you want to buy a house that is much more expensive than you can actually afford, it's ideal to go for a 30-year home loan because the monthly installment will give you that breather that you need to maintain that house and all that kind of stuff. Because the higher or the bigger the house is, it means that the maintenance cost becomes higher, which means that the property rate is more expensive. The levies, if it's actually inside a complex, it's actually much more. But just coming out into talking about the topic for today in terms of how to actually pay your home loan much faster than the initial agreed home loan term that you had chosen initially, right? So how to actually do this, right? There's quite a few ways. It's not so many ways that you can actually do this, okay? So the first way that you will have to do this is, right, is paying through a lump sum. Like if you pay extra, like for people that get paid commission, or people that for some reason just you come across a large amount of money. Okay, maybe you left your job, you are going to a new job, then you have some provident fund or something like that. However, you can get a lump sum, right? You can actually save like some money in the long term. You can actually pay much faster than your initial period just by taking that once off payment, and you pay in your home loan, right? So let's give you an example, right? So let's say your house is a million rand, right? And the as normal, as I already explained, that the standard home loan term comes in 20 years. So and you have an interest rate of 7%, which is boom, it's very good. Not many people get that, right? And then your monthly installment will be like 7.752, right? So if you pay, let's say for example 50,000 into that account, right, you're gonna save up to 138 thousand, right, on that home loan. And then it will means that you're not gonna pay it in 20 years time, you're gonna pay it in 17.98 years, which means that you save plus minus 2 years, which is very great, which is one of the things that you must actually consider if actually for you it's a high priority to pay your home loan much quicker. For some people, they don't care about paying a home loan much quicker because they can prefer to say, okay, I don't want to do that. I actually want to take that lump sum and invest it somewhere. You can do that. Personal finance is personal, right? It is really up to you. I'm just here to give you information in terms of you when you make your decision, you really make an informed decision. Okay, so the second way I was talking about is actually paying a recurring monthly additional installment, right? So, for example, in this case, let's say you are still looking at a house that is R1 million, right? You still have a 7% interest rate. You still have 20 years to pay, and you still have a 7,752 that you need to pay off monthly installment, right? And you say, Tawang, I just want to put an additional 1,000 into that home loan account, right? So it is fine. It is how your circumstances are. It is how you decide to do it. Anyway, but as long as you want to achieve the goal, you can do it, right? So in this case, you will still you will save much more than if you put a 50,000 lump sum, which means that you'll save around 208,000, and your home loan term will be reduced to 15.73 years, which means that you have child around 4 years to pay that home loan. Wow, that is wonderful, right? But somebody might be saying, Thabang, I can use the 1,000 rand, invest it somewhere on a monthly basis, I can get more money. Kudos to you. It is personal, right? It is what is more preferable to you. It is what is priority to you, right? So if you feel you want to pay your home loan quicker, or you want to invest your money somewhere else, it is really up to you. But in this case, I'm talking to people that actually wants to pay their home loan much quicker. So if we just pay an additional amount, it doesn't matter how much it is. If we just pay 100 rand, 200 rand, it's gonna come in handy, because how your home loan is structured is the first few years you are paying more interest. So the interest is like in a sliding scale. Like at the beginning of the home loan, you are paying much more interest. At the end, you are paying less, because the bank, they are very clever. They want to recover their money first. So like you at the beginning of the home loan, you don't even touch the principal. So it is very much important to understand that you need to if it's really a priority for you to cut the amount of years it takes to repay that home loan, then you need to implement this, right? Some of the people do some other methods, right? So some of the people might work on their credit score, work on their credit score. Remember, if your credit score is much better, it means that you get the best interest rate, right? You get the best terms, right? So some people might, after 4 or 5 years of paying that home loan, they can say, you know what, my credit score has changed, right? My credit score has changed, which means that I can get a better interest rate, which means that I will pay less in installment, which means that I will pay less interest, and in that way I can actually maybe reduce the number of years it will take me to actually repay this loan. So it's also another option that you can go to the bank and say, hey bank, please reevaluate me now. My situation has changed from before, because before then I was misbehaving, or I didn't have a very good credit score. So now reevaluate my condition and look at how we can actually give me a better deal. In most cases, some banks will agree, some banks will not agree, but you are allowed to go to another bank, okay? If that bank is not agreeing, you can go to another bank and say, hey bank, I have this home loan with this so and so bank that I've been paying it for 5 years, 4 years, or however how long it is, and say, can you reevaluate my situation and see if you can give me the better deal than they are giving me? If it works, it works. Okay, so these are the options. So the first option is you can pay a once-off payment, or you can pay a recurring additional monthly monthly installment in addition of the normal installment that the bank requires from you, or you can actually go to target your interest rate if and only if your credit score has changed or has been much better than it was when you actually got that initial agreement, right? So I've made maybe 2 or 3 videos in terms of how to actually maintain a good credit score, how to actually improve your credit score, because it's very much important that you understand that your credit score is your weapon. Your credit score will actually save you a lot of money. So it's very much important that you understand that you need to behave a certain way to maintain a good credit score. Like you need to pay your bills in time and in full, and you need to make sure that like there's FICO criteria that are used, right? Like you need to make sure that you have a good credit mix, you need to make sure that you have a good credit utilization, you need to have a good credit history. So all those elements combined together, they ensure that you have a good credit score, right? So guys, it is very much important that you make it an effort to make sure that you have a good credit score, because if you don't have a good credit score, oh my word, you're not gonna get the best rate, you're gonna pay everything higher than everybody else, and it's gonna be so much difficult for you to get debt, right? But remember, not just any debt, you need to get good debt. And there's a difference between good and bad debt. So you need to make sure that you get good debt. I emphasize on that, and on my previous videos I've always been emphasizing this point, that you need to understand that there's good debt and there's bad debt. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next one. Please share this video with your friends, your family, so that also they can be exposed to this information, because I believe it's very much helpful. Remember guys, don't be a passenger of your financial situation, but be the driver of your financial situation. Cheers. See you in the next one.